Hi, Kevin, and hello, everyone. Today's
How's it
pod-
going?
today's
Sorry.
podcast is with our very own Kevin Rankl, SolidCAM's VP of Technical Support and Upsell Manager. Now, I want to tell you a few things about Kevin. Kevin is a person full of fire. He loves to help. He loves solving problems, and he's always at hand when you need him. Kevin, let's start with your role of VP of Technical Support, even though you are also the upsell manager of SolidCAM. So, can you tell us in a few words about your career journey and what led you to SolidCAM? What drew you to the field of technical support? And what keeps you passionate about it?
Sure. Yeah. So how it all started actually was my dad actually was a machinist at a very large machine shop down in Minneapolis, and they did all aerospace parts.
Oh,
And as a kid, working on these really big parts and, landing gear for all the fighter jets and, blast rings, all that stuff, anything to do with aerospace, I really just got passionate about. And, it actually kind of started
when,
when I was in,
when did you start? How old were you?
so this was my dad started bringing me to the shop about 5 years old and bringing
Wow.
me in there once a week and kind of just show what kind of parts they were working on and stuff like that. And that's where the passion really got going. And, as a younger kid, I was into Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. And for those that don't know, they do what's called a Pinewood Derby car. So they give you a block of wood and four wheels, and you need to carve this car out of a wood and make it as fast as possible. So what we did is we actually drew it up in SolidWorks and machined it on a 5-axis machine at my dad's shop. That's where the light clicked on, and that was probably
Wow.
about 8 years old, where it's like, wow, this is really cool stuff here. I mean,
So,
what we can do so much.
so you knew how to work with SolidWorks at the age of 8?
No, I didn't know how to use SolidWorks at age of 8. My dad was using it at that time, so I just gave him ideas on what we wanted to look like versus instead of just having a little triangle as a car. So we did a Indy car all nice and machined up out of wood, and that's where the light clicked of, boy, this is really cool. I can make anything now, with how the machining works. So that's how it really got passionate in it. And then, going through high school, I was in the machine shop program there, as well as after high school, I went to technical trade school for machining and, learned all about it there. And, the funny thing is when in the tech school is they were teaching Mastercam and SolidWorks. And, that's kind of where it was like, well, boy, why am I learning SolidWorks and then I have to basically relearn Mastercam to redraw some of the parts?
Right,
So,
because it's not integrated, right?
right. So then, after graduating from Alec Tech here in Alexandria, started a job at Alec Industries as just a machinist. Worked my way up through the company, get into the tool room, and actually started doing all the programming there for their machines. And at the time, they were using SurfCam and SolidWorks, but we were having a lot of associativity issues. Our customers would send us rev changes, and with SurfCam at the time, we would basically have to start over and reprogram that entire part. So when we started looking at SolidCam, it was like, wow, finally somebody that, I love SolidWorks, somebody that's integrated into SolidWorks and it works awesome.
Wow.
And that's where the real passion came into the effect there. So
This is why I like doing these podcasts. These are things I never knew about you and how, yeah, how got into this field and how
right,
it's
right,
really interesting. So,
right. And a
yeah.
big part of it was the certification. SolidWorks at the time offered they just came out with their certification, and it's, I'm a person of how can I make myself better, but how can I also help, with the
We
software
see
side of it.
that all the
So,
time.
right. So I took that certification and then just really fell in love with SolidWorks at that point. And like I said, since SolidCAM is 100% inside SolidWorks, it's like a marriage in heaven.
I know.
So,
So tell me, what as the VP of technical support, what does a typical day look like?
Well, there is no typical day. In a typical day, it's more advanced questions, more of our advanced customers getting into more of the advanced side of the software. It's trying to develop videos and training for our customers to fully understand the software and fully understand, what SolidCAM is doing in there. Because my ultimate goal is to make our customers extremely successful. And, so behind the scenes now as VP of technical support, I'm kind of behind the scenes getting my guys all the training that they need so they can give the absolute best support possible for our customers and give that support in a very timely manner now too. So that's and then in between that, we're planning for trade shows. So if you guys have seen us at trade shows, hopefully you've noticed a little bit of a change in the trade shows, a little bit cooler stuff in there and modernizing. So it's a great job in that sense.
Let me, I have to tell our listeners a story about you, and I always tell this story because I like it so much, about how one weekend somebody called you on the weekend
Yep.
and you spent 5 hours with him. I mean, it would have, until you solved this problem. I mean, it would have been so easy for you to say, listen, it's the weekend, call me on Monday, but you didn't. And
Right.
this is what makes you stand out. This is what makes you one of the best in the field. Kudos to you, Kevin.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Linda. And it's not so much, it's myself, but I really want a very good name for SolidCAM. I don't want us to be the corporate America. No, you can only call us from 9 to 5, and that's your only tech support times. We need to be able to help our customers. Doesn't matter day or night. Whatever we can do to help our customers is the ultimate end goal in my
That is
mind.
so important. Support is
Right.
the most important thing, definitely. So
Right.
how has the role of technical support evolved since you started in January 2023? Has it evolved?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We kind of went from about 8 staff members now to almost 20.
Really?
Absolutely. We are, and basically what I did is I went around and found some of my best customers
Okay.
and I hired them. I hired the absolute best machinist programmers I could find in the United States, and they're working with us now. So we've added new staff members for our post team. We've added more technical support. So
Wow.
our customers are never waiting on us. That's the biggest thing. We do not want our customers waiting on us. We need to give, the absolute best support. And we have the absolute best software out there, but let's make it the absolute best support. And, people always talk about customer service and how customer service sells. So our software should sell itself because it's out there, but, let's add icing on the cake and let's give them the absolute best service possible as well. So, as well as, we've developed a new beta program for our customers. So when we come out with a beta release, these customers get access to that beta program. They get direct access to our development team for the beta program, and they can report those issues directly to the development team. So now we're taking customers, get full contact with development to get the absolute best software possible. So that was a real good one. The upsell program is another great one too. Being able to, a customer calls in with a challenge and we answer that question, but how can we go above and beyond? What other tools can we give that customer to make them more successful? So like a lot of them are like the 3D eye machining is huge. It really helps the customer out and it broadens their horizon of, even though I'm only doing 2D parts here, I can now do 2D parts with a much easier programming and I don't have to define anything anymore. So
So you would say like the iMachining ups is the best upsell?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's my easiest upsell right there. It takes the thing. It's hitting the easy button on machining, and when you move that slider bar all the way up to level 8, oh boy, she gets real fun real quick.
Listen, iMachining, you gotta love it.
Oh man, do you ever?
So, can you share a story? And I know you have a lot of them, of how you helped a customer overcome a significant challenge?
Oh, absolutely. You mentioned the one time, on the weekend, but I do have another weekend one. For those of you guys that don't know, and you might be able to hear it in my voice, I'm up in northern Minnesota. So up here, we like to go deer hunting. And so it was during deer hunting, and I'm sitting in my deer stand, and well, there's no deer walking through. So I'm going through emails on my phone, and John at Ticomet hits me up and says he's got a major part that they need to get out. It actually was a backbone implant that the surgeon needed to get out, needed to get to the patient right away. We worked on it from the deer stand, out in the middle of the woods, off of a cell phone, and got him all the way up and going. And they were able to successfully get that part to the surgeon.
Really?
And that implant is installed already. So that was a really cool one, because it's not only I'm helping the customer after hours, but my help is going to help a person's life to be better, save a life or something like that. So that was a really, really cool one. That was real special to me. So.
Wow. Tell me, you always blow me away with your story. So what are the most common technical issues customers face with SolidCAM, and how do you address them?
Boy, that's a tough question.
Maybe there are no technical issues.
Yeah. No, I would say the most common one, there is no most common one. And the reason for that is, we'll take customers that are hobbyists that just have a machine in their garage, and we'll take guys that are doing aerospace parts and, like people that doing the Iron Dome. So you got a wide variety of levels there. So with that, I developed our KevCam, or our SolidCAM University channel. And in there, I try to do about 2 to 3 videos on different aspects of everything inside the software. So then when a customer calls in and says, hey, how do I do this, this, and this? I'll let the customer know, here's how you do what you're looking for, but then I'll record a video on it. So not only did I help that customer, but if another one comes across that, they can go to the SolidCAM University channel, and they have 24/7 videos right there of support.
A little bit about the SolidCAM University channel?
Oh, absolutely. Started that, I think it was in 2012. And it was just for that exact same reason, is we're getting these calls come in, and how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? And we had books on how to do all this stuff. But like myself, I hate reading. I haven't read a book since I was in high school. I like watching videos. So, and I learn from watching videos. So it's like, I'm starting a YouTube channel of just all the support stuff, that happens inside SolidCAM. So if you guys go over to the SolidCAM University, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of videos on how to do everything in the software. And not just, if we're just talking, maybe a Mac-to-Mac transform. We have 3 different videos on how to do Mac-to-Mac transforms on different ways in different varieties. So maybe if you're doing it on a mill turn machine or a 5-axis, or, giving different scenarios for the customers so they get the ultimate, learning experience. So.
Wow. Let me ask you also about, I just remembered to ask you about this Titan bombastic event. Can you tell us a little bit? I mean, you are a star there.
It was so much fun, to be able to go to Titan's facility and talk with all these people that are so passionate about machining. was just phenomenal. Titan's shop is, you walk in there and you instantly get goosebumps just because it's just
Beautiful.
yes, yes. But everybody there, and even every person at Titans, their employees at Titans are so passionate about the software, are passionate about the industry, so passionate about machining, and passionate about teaching our younger generation about machining and how cool it can be, and it's not the the dirty, greasy jobs that it was back in the 70s kind of deal. So it was fantastic to be able to see our customers, interact with some new customers, let people see how the software works inside of SolidWorks, and it was just amazing.
No,
It
and
was
I heard
absolutely
they were
amazing.
really impressed by our booth, and everything was so well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I told them, I said, well, if you guys thought it was good last year, just wait until Bombastic 2025. It's
I
going to
know,
be
I know.
even better.
Next year.
Yes, you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
It was an amazing event. Amazing event.
Okay, so let me ask you another question about your long-term goals for technical support at SolidCAM. Can you share a tip or the best practice for effectively managing good technical support?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And every single day I ask myself, as VP of Technical Support, how can I make support better? How can I make it easier for the customer? And that's our end goal, is how can we make our customers successful? So my two major goals in the vision of SolidCAM support is, customer success is number one, but right next to that is making SolidCAM a better product for our customers. And kind of what I've done with that is, with our new development program internally to our staff, we are able to directly input feature requests right away now, and they get brought right up through the line instantly. If we do come across a bug, it's proposed to development right away. We have a whole new system in place since taken over, that to be able to find those issues that we have in the software, if we do have them, and get them fixed right away. So, and one example of that was, a couple of weeks ago, we had a version, and we found out that there was a small little hiccup in there with the Simcoe, and we got that turned around in under 12 hours. We had it fixed in a new service pack release. So that is absolutely huge. I mean, how can you go from SolidCAM is this massive, massive company worldwide, and we find one little bug and we fix it instantly? I mean, that is phenomenal.
Incredible.
Yep.
So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about your role as upsell manager, which you're so good at. What are the key strategies you use for effective upselling? How do you identify opportunities for upselling? How do you
Sure.
customize upsells offers to meet the specific needs for customers?
Right. The biggest thing, from what I can tell for doing upsells, is be passionate about SolidCAM. If you are passionate, you got the excitement, and apparently I got a little bit of an excitement in my voice when I talk about SolidCAM. So
You do.
that helps the upsell when you, as a technical support person that are supposed to know the ins and outs of the software, you're supposed to help the customer. When we can go in there and look at a customer's program and be like, Linda, have you thought about, what you've done here looks really good, but what I could do is I could save you, probably 15 minutes of programming time, and, at least 60, 70% of your cycle time if we switch over from doing this pocket strategy to doing iMachining. And they'll say, well, what's iMachining? Well, so at that point, what I'll do is I will take their part and bring it on my screen and show them, okay, here's your part. Now, here's what you did on your pocket strategy. It took about 15 minutes to set your depth, set your feed rate, set your step over, your angle of engagement. Where I show them in iMachining, we click on that pocket, we move the slider bar over to level, 7, because he's in a vise. He's done. And he's like, that's it? And it's like, yeah. And so it's, to get a good upsell, it's not about trying to sell the product.
Exactly,
It's
because
about
if you sound pushy, it doesn't work.
right, right, exactly. I want to give the customer the tools that they need to be successful. I don't want to sell them tools that they're not going to use. So
Right.
you build that relationship with that customer. And, if you talk to a lot of our customers, or actually if you check out our reviews, you'll see that our customers are raving about our support
I
and,
know.
how we go above and beyond. So, and that's a big thing with the upsells is, looking out for our customers, not just, the customer calls in and asks, all right, how do I fix this? Okay, we help them fix it, but then let's take it to the next step and say, all right, but if you do this, I can give you a faster cycle time. I can give you better tool life and all this. So it's a pretty easy win at that point. But like I said, when you get the passionate about and the excitement about SolidCAM, I mean, even doing demos and stuff, the customer sees it and they get excited about it. So I think that's a real huge factor of it.
And also, SolidCAM is advancing so fast. I mean, we
Oh,
had modules, all these modules. So it's good to have the customer like updated, and so he knows what's new
right,
and what he can use. And yeah,
right. Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah. Okay, Kevin, let me ask you a question that I ask all my interviewees.
Oh boy.
How is it to work with Emil Sommer?
How is it to work with Emil? Oh, all right. So are you ready for this one, Linda?
Yeah,
It's terrible. Emil never sleeps. He only worries about SolidCAM. I will get emails 24/7 about, hey Kevin, let's try this. Let's try this. And I mean that in the absolute best way possible. It's great working with Emil. The guy never sleeps. He's always traveling around to visit his customers and his resellers to find out what can we do to make it better.
I know,
So,
it's
I mean,
incredible.
mind blowing on, I have a hard time keeping track of them, on, with
Everybody does.
emails
And
and
his
yeah,
wife
yeah.
and I do.
So, I mean, in that sense, it's good. It's phenomenal. I have never seen a owner, as well as for you, so passionate about the cam industry and so passionate about SolidCAM and getting the product out there to make it a better product. And to be able to, if I have an idea at 3 o'clock in the morning, I have no problem calling him and telling him the idea, and he's going to answer that phone every single time and listen to the idea. So,
Absolutely.
that is phenomenal. And one thing that you probably don't know, Linda, is so when we were down at Titan's facility, we were done with the first day of the event, and we had Big Buffy, the SolidCAM pickup truck there.
Yeah, your truck was there, right?
Yep. And for those of you guys that don't know, it's a big, huge truck that's wrapped in SolidCAM, and it was down at Titan's. And we're getting ready to go out to dinner. I asked Emil, you want to drive? Well, yeah. So he hops in this big old monster truck, and we're getting ready to go. And it was a little scary, but Jess, my wife, goes, well, why does Emil get to drive your truck and I never get to drive your truck? Like, well, Emil will pay for it if he breaks it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
it's
great. It's
Emil is
absolutely great.
always open to new ideas. He's always
Oh,
there for
absolutely.
the customers. Absolutely.
Well, and the worst part about it, Linda, is he can beat me swimming. He's faster than me swimming laps in the pool. Yeah, he's
He's
I
a
don't
man of
I'm
all
not sure
trades.
on his age, but I know he's old enough to be my dad, and he can beat me swimming. So I got to up my swimming game to keep up with
Absolutely,
him.
Kevin, you have to. He also started taking up golf, so he's also playing golf. So yeah.
Nah. I told him we'll pass on golf and we'll go scuba diving instead.
Great. I'll come too.
You know.
Okay, Kevin, thanks a lot for this podcast.
Oh,
Listen,
absolutely.
it was so interesting. I found out so much about you, and you are the man for the job for this VP of Technical Support upsells. You are the man.
We try to do my best, and like I said, the number one goal is making SolidCAM number one and making our customers the absolute happiest using the software. So customer success. So
Amen to that, and kudos.
yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
All right. Thank you, Linda. Have yourself a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.